Welcome to another episode of Ship a War, my review of Need for Speed. Yeah, bitch. Need for Speed is directed by Scott Wall. It stars Aaron Paul and a bunch of other people who I wasn't expecting to be in the movie, like Michael Keaton and Dakota Johnson, who is the lead actress for 50 Shades of Grey, so it was interesting to see her in this movie. Now, the premise of this story is about Aaron Paul's character named Toby. He gets framed for something that he didn't do, something absolutely terrible, and he goes to jail for 2 years. When he comes out of jail, he's just pissed off. This is a pissed off, very sad person for justified reasons, and his only mindset is to get back at the person who framed him, and that all has to do with cars and racing. Now, I went into this movie with pretty low expectations because video game movies are just never that good, and so I went in with that mindset. But I went into this movie mainly because I wanted to see Aaron Paul in another role that wasn't Breaking Bad, and because I have played Need for Speed in the past, so I was familiar with the game, and so certain things like that, I was like, you know, this is enough for me to want to go see the movie. So I have to be completely honest with you guys, I ended up really enjoying this film. Like, I am so surprised with how much I enjoyed this movie. Like, I wasn't expecting it at all. It just came out of left field. I really enjoyed Aaron Paul's character and all the other characters in this movie. Like, he had a group of friends who helped him out with his cars and stuff like that, and they were all so funny. There's also a female character played by the actress named Imogen Poots, I think her name is, and I really liked her character. She's this English girl who knows a lot about cars, and she lends Aaron Paul's character a car for him to use to race, and with her lending him this car, she can't like leave the car because it's her responsibility, so she's kind of stuck with him. And it's some of the funniest scenes in the movie as well, because her and Aaron Paul had a lot of chemistry with each other, so their relationship really worked, and I really enjoyed the overall just chemistry between them. Just really worked a lot. The story is not one of the best stories, very cliche in a lot of ways. It's nothing that we've never seen before, but it just works because the characters are all so likable that you just end up enjoying the movie for what it is, and you don't really care so much about the story but more about the characters in this story. And it's one of those movies, if they continue on this as a franchise, these characters are just going to become more and more likable because they all just worked so well together between each other. There's definitely things that happen in the movie that you see and you're like, yeah, that's definitely from Need for Speed. Like, they took a lot from the video game and put it into the movie. There was a sequence in Detroit while watching it, I'm like, yeah, I feel like I'm playing Need for Speed. Like, that reminds me of an actual scene from Need for Speed when Aaron Paul is driving through the streets and the cops are chasing him. I'm like, that is so Need for Speed right there. And there was a lot of different shots here and there that are very similar to the actual game. There was obviously a lot of practical effects in this movie. There wasn't that much CGI used, which I appreciate. This movie really didn't have a lot of obvious CGI, and if it did, they did an excellent job with it because I couldn't really notice it. But again, overall, I really enjoyed this movie, and I definitely recommend this movie to anybody who's a fan of Need for Speed the game, or you're a fan of racing movies, or you're a fan of cars, or if you're a fan of Aaron Paul, a fan of Breaking Bad, and you want to see Aaron Paul in something else. Go check out this movie. It's worth it. It's one of those movies you gotta go with a big group of friends because you'll enjoy it a lot more that way. So that is my review for Need for Speed. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Discussions by You, where you guys pick the topic and I discuss it. Today's topic is brought to us by Serenity Q26, and their topic choice is, my question is about promotion for movies. What promotions do you think work best to get people into the theater? There have been some great movies released in 2013, and even if people heard about them, they are not giving these smaller movies a chance, instead going for movies that have big actors, Saving Mr. Banks for example, or big